Hi, let's meditate. I want to look into the issues related to trust. I'll start with a funny, interesting, but probably necessary issues. It's funny, but I think I need to go through this to clear my mind. I was going through the password, Apple password. I think I call it, it's called Apple ID password, and they changed the name, Apple account and all that stuff. And I have password for this and that device and what they call two-factor authentication and all that stuff. And once you lose something, then you may get into trouble to recover. And the system is so complex, so many words, so many descriptions, and how. So I use this time DeepSeek to figure out how to retrieve apply the password if you forgot. And that went into perhaps 10 minutes dialogue. I can post it if you like to look at it, but looking at the technology pros and cons and the variable names, it's very complex to get the whole picture, even asking DeepSeek to tell me a flowchart of events when one thing's happened, what triggers next, and all that, and pros and cons of various approaches. Then, after going through that, I thought about the trust that we need to have to live life more in general. Trust is very important in the sense of navigating your life. I think I have a conclusion of the ultimate trust first, because that's easy for me, but then I may come back to point why it is so. For me, the easiest and the most important thing to think about trust is that I have a trust in my heart. And I say, when I have that, I feel like I'm at eternal home, absolute sense of being. So that's ultimate, and I can get there when I practice samadhi, no mind, no self, no thinking. So elsewhere, I mentioned about the importance of it. In one of the video, the resolution there was, I don't have any more question, because there's absolute sense, or you can call absolute truth of feel comfortable about myself, and which is I'm gone, no self, and no thinking. Eternal home, that's the absolute state. So that's ultimate. But living in the society, I have to play with this password, which is the best approach to set up. And when you forget what's the end result, depending upon which way you do, or maybe multiple way you do, you have to have a knowledge and keep that knowledge somewhere in your brain or somewhere on paper or on the machine, so that you can access it. So that's important to living in this society, that the key information can be accessed and stored, including your external hard disk if that's what is needed, or the iCloud, or any document secured so that you can access. So this becomes more and more important, and given the potential of hacking the many various systems, and that's what I was talking with DeepSeek, so that I get the full picture, or bigger picture, not perhaps full. Then my thought went on to my life itself. I travel one place to the next and keep on traveling. Also, perhaps depending on the trust of the future I see about my situation as I get older, but related to what I want to do in my life, how to navigate, meeting friends or exploring unknown situation in different place, or anything. But that also depends on the change in the society, political situation, climate change, my health situation, my friends, and my vision, etc. So if we use our brain, what should we do? We won't have a clear system of how everything fits together. Maybe that's too much of a word to digest. What's the clear system? But clarity helps having a good perspective to address all those potential issues that can fluctuate, everything being impermanent. You, your friends, nations, and more keep changing. So if you have not prepared and wrong assumption, it's very tricky. I mentioned previously about Charlie Munger talking about don't go near where you may die. That simple statement is based upon the trust and your ability to evaluate if you're clear on that, you may have less trouble, so that your living life can be secured in a way. So, as I mentioned in my case, bottom line of that is what I mentioned about the state of absolute being is being confirmed as I live. Yet I still want to manage my life as much as possible, considering the unknowns. Well, as I stay quiet and make sense of what I have as a way of navigating life with certain understanding and develop the trust or uncertainty potential. That's what life is actually. While I may have this vision, which is like may all beings be happy. In the process, I help myself happy as well as others to be happy. Using the brain and listen to my heart. So I think that's the generic picture at the core level with the samadhi, but at the top level with the vision, with the same thought of realizing the process of how I use the brain and listen to my heart, which goes back to the same notion of having a base. And whenever I evaluate things or face difficulties, I multiple times go back to the state of samadhi, where I stay quiet and not to rush, but come up with wisdom and compassion. So what I can recollect is I used the idea of life profile, which I shared in one of the videos or multiple videos, which is to look at the overall picture and to see my passage or the strategy is being followed up by CAPD, check, act, plan, do, continuously every 3 months or so, and more daily practice of blood dot exercise to check how things are going at the everyday basis. I think those are the safety net. And along with that, specific plans are developed and starting with a check and act, plan, and do, CAPD. Is the way I see. And my memory may fade. I need to keep those disciplines in place. I made it simple, easy to follow, and avoid the potential unknowns to cause potential problems. So I think that's the structure, the process, and the discipline. And since this encompasses various dimensions, various variables of life, various subjects of life, I need to have a overall view and practice each step of the way I live. So, like right now, as I move from Japan or from here to this town to meet my friend and eventually leave for Hawaii and keep traveling, it's like managing or perceiving the needs of what to come and how to set the priorities and make sure that there's a clear mechanism to make the whole process of living life to be understood. Travel requires constant check and act accordingly to prioritize what to do continuously. Life is a travel. Whether I'm traveling physically or living in one location, the process is the same. And I need to go through this quiet moment to be created. So that I stay at the core level every now and then. No mind, no self state. And let the wisdom ideas pop up so that I can check clearly what is to do, how to live, which plan to develop, and how to go, like walking step at a time, moving forward. Basically, that is to develop the trust in the process and myself relating to how I live my life. The key is have a calm and quiet mind all the time. But even more, to make sure I have that, I should have this moment. and the process. More clearly followed up with this life profile idea and black dot exercise, along with clear planning or the scheduling situation, and with the password and everything, meaning what to bring, why, in this traveling from place A to B to C, capturing the whole in good perspective that I can see. And when there is some black dot in a sense of potential problems or actual problems that happen, then I can be prepared. I should be prepared mentally, and I should have some way to keep monitoring so that the priority, the process, and discipline is very clear, while I may have fun and enjoy my life. So this is just a confirmation of the basic idea that I shared for myself. If it resonates to anyone or not, I'm curious to listen to the feedback. So maybe my life's journey approach may have some point where we may help each other. What's missing, what's not missing, how we move forward, and sharing those may confirm, or going through the question and answer, just like I may actually do with AI. And if I do, I will come back and share my structure and the process and how I'm living in this turbulent world, given the potential supplies, but some sense of assurance that we do live with a good sense of trusting system, so to speak, that we are on the right path. Truthfully and sincerely to live. Thank you.